على رسوله الكريم سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا Muhammad وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Honorable, respected ulama kiram, hufadhi kiram, brothers, elders, mothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. What was the name of the man that was very pious, who the baby spoke out on his behalf? Jurayj, yes, mashallah. So I mentioned yesterday that I'll mention regarding Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha. It is mentioned that the Muslims went out on an expedition with Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha was with, and basically it's a long story known as the story of Ifk. The story of Ifk. Right? I'm not going to go into all of it, but khair. The arch enemy of Islam, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. See, a person can have the servant of Allah in their name. I'm not saying all Abdullahs are bad. I don't say any Abdullahs around, so I'm safe, I think. Or there's Hafiz Abdullah is just looking at me like, Malisa ain't going to read Taraweeh no more because you said Abdullahs. But this Abdullah was a bad Abdullah. MashaAllah, our Abdullah is a good Abdullah, alhamdulillah. Even his whole father, brother, everyone was their backup team. I have to behave. MashaAllah. So khair, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul was the arch enemy of Islam and Muslims. And he used this opportunity, the situation of what had happened with Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa getting left behind. And na'udhu billah, he accused Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha of committing zina, committing evil actions with another Sahabi. The story came to Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. It caused a lot of grief and difficulty, as you can imagine. It was difficult for Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, for his family members, for Hazrat Abu Bakr as the father and his wife and the rest of their family. It was very difficult. It was a very difficult time. And Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa, we know that although Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, when he passed away, she was just 18 years old. She had a lot of ulum, she had a lot of knowledge of deen. She was so knowledgeable that many senior Sahaba are known to have gone to her, to learn from her, to clarify ahadith, to find out regarding certain things that Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam had said, he may have done, or he may have liked and approved of. So she says that she says that just how in the time of Sayyidina Isa alayhi salatu wasalam and his mother, Hazrat Maryam, Mary and Jesus, to protect the chastity of Hazrat Maryam, her son Isa alayhi salam spoke from the cradle. And the story of Jurayj had been mentioned, that the baby spoke in defense of him. And also the third one is the story in Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam story, where the baby spoke and made it clear with regards to testimony as to who was guilty, who wasn't guilty, without actually taking names. It said that, you know what, if you look carefully at the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, then you will find, if it's torn from the front or the back, then accordingly you will find out who the culprit was. Okay? So the culprit was found out. Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa made a dua, Ya Allah, if only there was a child who could speak in my favor, to exonerate me from these false accusations the enemies of Islam have. Until today, you got the likes of Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage. All they do, and Katie Hopkins, they just go around and blab a whole lot of rubbish. There's one guy, a couple of people on the local Facebook page also. All they know, they just go find some stories, put it together and say, well, this is what Islam says. Islam says go and kill people. Islam says kill every Christian and Jew. If you don't understand the context of it, as a Muslim, as a devout Muslim, even you can be misguided by reading the Quran. As I've explained so far in the story of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. So khair, Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha, from the Ummahatul Mu'minat, the mother of the believers, Allah Ta'ala had so much of respect for her that neither did Allah Ta'ala use a baby to speak in her favor. Allah Ta'ala didn't even use Nabi Sallallahu Ta'ala Alayhi Wasallam to speak in her favor. Allah Ta'ala Himself spoke in her favor. So what a great honor and respect Allah Ta'ala has given to Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha, and we find that Islam has given to women. The first university was founded by who? Nigel Farage's great-great-grandfather. It was a Muslim woman who founded the first university. And like this you will find that Islam had liberated women. When a female child was born, many places around the world, they would bury the child alive. And they wouldn't just bury the child alive, that okay, a female is born from maternity unit straight into the grave. No. They would take that child and they would look after that child over time. And once that child was a bit bigger and understanding, then they would, as stories are mentioned of certain Sahaba before they came into Islam, how they have dressed up their child as if it's the day of Eid. Yani dress them up very nicely. Is he working there? I think, he's working in there, so just leave it open for now. We find that the Sahabi takes his child. He dresses her up. Dad, where are you taking me? To the park? You taking me somewhere fun? With tears in his eyes, he's saying yes. The mother has combed the child's hair, dressed the child up nice. And the man starts digging the grave for his daughter. These are people before Islam. And the child sees the father's shoes are getting messed. The child with that small, tiny little hands is cleaning that father's shoes from that soil. And that same father takes his child and puts his child in the grave. While the child is awake. Not like they gave them some drugs or, put them into some coma or knocked them out with some anesthetic or anything like that. No. While the child is alive, the father takes the child, puts the child in the grave. And then starts throwing soil on the child. The child is in bewilderment. So, what's going on? Dad, what are you doing? Daddy, what are you doing? I can't breathe. Daddy, 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 daddy. And then till there's no breathing left. Subhanallah. And Islam came. Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, you know what he said? He said, the best amongst you is the best, those of you who are best to your families. Not best to everyone in the masjid, but when you go home, you're a monster. Not the one who is best at your workplace and you're very nice and happy and smiley with everyone there. But when you go home, you're an oppressive person. خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِهِ. The best of you are those who are best to their family members. And then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that I am the best to my family members also. He led by example. And he also said that you must honor your woman. All these people that think that we oppress our wives and make them wear niqab, if they only knew. If they only knew. She says, I'm sleeping on the right. Aapka chalega ba? Will you succeed? You say, no, I want to sleep on the right side of the bed. She says, get lost, go sleep downstairs. Sleep on the sofa. Sleep on the right, left, on both sides if you want. But in the bed, I am sleeping this side. If they only knew. I just think of that old lady in the corner who told my wife to put laxative in my food because of if I oppress her or force her to cook food, or if I force her to iron my clothes, if I force her to wear the niqab, just put some laxatives in his food. Subhanallah, may Allah Ta'ala grant her and many others hidayat inshallah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So khair. Moving on from there, back to the story of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. وَقَالَ نِسْوَةٌ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ امْرَأَةُ الْعَزِيزِ تُرَاوِدُ فَتَاهَا عَنْ نَفْسِهِ قَدْ شَغَفَهَا حُبًّا. This woman, she's besotted. She's crazy over the love of Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. She's gone pagal ho gayi hai. Layla Majnoon, you know the story? What's the other one? Farhad and Shireen. Guys know all the love stories. MashaAllah. Mills and Boon wale. Layla Majnoon and Farhad and Shireen. Or bhi koi tha. They said Layla Majnoon, you know their story was so crazy. Oh, Romeo and Juliet. Bhai, wo bhi hai, Angrez ka hona chahiye. There has to be a copy one way or the other. They say Majnoon loved Layla so much. And Layla wasn't a beautiful woman. Those people that narrate the story say she was a very ugly woman. Yeah, we don't say that because everyone is beautiful, because they have been fashioned and created as Allah Ta'ala. ثُمَّ خَلَقْنَا النُّطْفَةَ مِنْ عَلَقَةٍ ثُمَّ خَلَقْنَا. Hafiz, you know the ayat, right? I think they read it last night before last night. Yeah. So Allah Ta'ala has made us all beautiful. But people used to say, this guy is crazy over this woman and she's so ugly. Or I said the other day, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. They say he used to wander around everywhere. He used to graffiti. You know, like these kids do. They go to the toilet and they write the girlfriend's name. That's how much of adab they have. Yeah?
He was not ugly, but black skin.
No, but what the hell? She was very dark skinned. But some narrators have also said that she wasn't of a beautiful appearance. Khair, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You may think, oh, how are these two married? You know, she's so beautiful, he's so not beautiful, or the other way around. Subhanallah, they like one another, their marriage. Why? It's not your marriage. ठीक है ना? They say while Majnoon was away, Layla died. And Layla got buried. And when Layla got buried, he came back and he's looking for Layla. Where's my Layla? Layla, you know. Eventually he goes to the graveyard. He picks up the sand. No. Picks up sand from another grave. No. Picks up sand from various graves and he smells it and he says no. Then he gets to the grave of Layla. He picks it up and he smells. This is my Layla. Today, we may not have Layla Majnoon, but on your t-shirt on the back you've got your most beloved football player, but then you're speaking to Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala says, when you come to the masjid, Ya bani Adam, khudhu zinatakum inda kulli masjid. When you go to the masjid, dress nicely. Don't come in your pajamas. Don't come like you're a beggar. Behave like a beggar to Allah Ta'ala. But don't come looking like a beggar. When at home you've got Armani suits and whatever, whether they boycott or not is another story. But I've got fancy clothes at home, and I've seen so many people do this, and this is really sad that we don't respect the house of Allah, that we come to the masjid, we're wearing the same clothes for the whole week. It's dirty, creased, but that same person, when they go to work, prim and proper, the t-shirt, the shirt is right, it's been ironed, and everything is perfect. We need to be respectful to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala too, inshaAllah. Yes? Inshallah? Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were going on protest here. And there'd be trouble with me. Inna la naraha fi dhalali mubin. This woman, she's crazy, man. She doesn't know what she's doing. How can she go after her slave? فَلَمَّا سَمِعَتْ بِمَكْرِهِنَّ. When this woman, Zulaykha, she hears this story. What was Zulaykha's husband's name? The chief minister, what was his name? Anyone? No? No one? Itfir or Kitfir? Itfir or Kitfir? Not Iftar. That's close. We're going to have that just now. That's 10 minutes away, 11, 12 minutes away. His name was Itfir or Kitfir. Zulaykha was her pet name. Alright? And they say her real name was possibly, anyone remembers? Oh, but if I say it often, then I'll remember. That's how the Hafizabs, they sit and learn. MashaAllah. Ra'il, her name was. Ra'il. Now you think, what kind of a name is that? Right? They might have to hear some of our names. It's worrying. So khair, she made a plan. You see. And in everything that is mentioned, the Quran is not here for entertainment. The Quran is here to learn. This woman, she has done a sin. Yes? She has tried to seduce a man while she is married to another man. But in that story, Allah Ta'ala has mentioned it so that you and me can take lesson from it. Do you know that? We can take lesson from there because it is mentioned, أَرْسَلَتْ إِلَيْهِنَّ. She gave an invite to all these women that now they're talking, isn't it? They're saying that look at this woman, how can she go so crazy about